So thanks for coming out. Show of hands, who works in the building? Just out of curiosity. Okay, usually again. So who already works in product? Couple? Who wants to get involved? Couple? Awesome. Well, I think it's an awesome mix. Definitely feel free to hang out afterwards as well. And then we do these probably 3-4 times a month. So always we bring in speakers from really cool companies, and really we just want to come and talk about really interesting stuff. And then hopefully you walk away with either something you've learned something new, you've met someone new, found an opportunity. We just want everyone to come back. So I'm Aaron, founder and CEO of Promotable. And what we do, really, aside from events, we do education solutions in person, live, online, where we do both data analytics and product management. So those are 5 hours a week. We bring in speakers for practitioners, instructors for practitioners, folks from places like Grubhub, Trump Club, Peapod, Google. Ultimately, so it's not just something generic, but you're able to really ask those kinds of questions and have that direct experience. If you have any questions, feel free to come by and ask later. And with that, let's talk about some Agile stuff.
Cool, great. Thank you, Aaron, for having me here today. For today, I'm kind of exciting because for two things. First one is my first talk in America because I'm coming from France, as you can hear from my accent. I will try to to get a bit more American accents for you to understand me a bit more. Then first thing is really exciting, yeah, because it's my first pitch here. And second one is that I started in a new company 4 months ago when I moved here as in Peapod. And I have some of my coworkers here, means that it will be interesting to share some mindsets as the title of the presentation of today. Then it's my mindset, and I think it's shared by a lot of people. And it will be interesting to share to them as well. Then it will be a good exercise for me as well. Before I start, I will start with a question as well. Who know Peapod? Okay. Who is using Peapod? Okay. 2 questions for you 3. What do you like in Peapod? Why are you using Peapod? Cool. Yeah, makes sense. And what do you don't like in Peapod? Something that we could improve as a company. Maybe.
Websites are created like not very large hero pictures, like mostly packed in white space. Sometimes it's difficult for me to get most items with my car to get out quickly.
Cool, thanks. Okay, I did my job as product manager, harvest new needs. I was about to fill my roadmap. Now let's start with the presentations. Then become agile. On agile in general, it's for me not a process, it's a mindset. It means that if you are not sharing this kind of mindset, it's difficult to move on and to be able to implement it and to work with it into your company. Then so, who's this guy? It's me. I'm Rodrigue Carnero. I'm French. I worked in Paris for several years in some startups, in digital. I moved to Brussels to work in Ahold Delhaize. And Ahold Delhaize, it's the same company that Peapod. As product manager, and I moved in Chicago 4 months ago to join Peapod Digital Labs, but it's a new entity of Peapod on Ahold Delhaize to help them moving forward on their adventure. I love sports, photography. I love to work. I'm here today to talk about Agile. Before I start, I will put some context. Who are we as Ahold Delhaize? Then we are 370,000 associates around 11 countries. And we are not only in America, we are in Serbia, in Romania, in Greece, in Netherlands, in Belgium, etc., etc. We have in total 21 brands with 6,500 stores. And we are doing 2.8 billion online sales, and we are growing every year, especially in America. And digital is impacting everything into the company. It can be on the fulfillment, the e-commerce, stock optimizations, customer care, stores, everywhere. Digital is everywhere. When I started to prepare these presentations, I was thinking about doing it about Speedpod. But after I step back, I said, okay, I will not be able to share everything that I started to live in Peapod because it had been only 4 months. Then I will focus on Delhaize, a brand that I like and I love and I worked with for 4 years. And I changed a lot of things with a lot of great people in Belgium. And I said, okay, I will take as a study case Delhaize in Belgium and to be able to go through the different methodology that we use to try on kind of success our agile transformations. Then Delhaize. How Delhaize is currently moving, like an elephant. A bit less now, but yeah, it's a big elephant. Why? Because we are strong in many ways. We have great store experiences, like we can have like you can have in the East Coast if you are going to Stop and Shop, Food Lion, Hannaford, etc. We have a huge and high quality assortment. We are everywhere, like every corners we are. But we have a lot of legacy. And moving fast can be a real challenge because to integrate everyone, and it's really like a lot of meetings, and it's really difficult. Then challenging why? Every big company wants to kind of moving forward digital transformations, agile transformations. Like the keyword, you will hear it everywhere. Agile, agile, agile. Great. What is agile? We will do this framework, or we'll do this thing. Yeah, but great. If you don't have the mindset, you will not be able to implement anything into your company. Then it's kind of the top management coming on and say, let's do agile. You did the training. Yeah, cool. Great. But if your top management is not already aware of what is it, it means it's really difficult for them to move on. Then welcome to agile. I love this little quote from Selena Delesi. My advice is stop emphasizing the process frameworks and start focusing on the company culture and mindsets. She's an agile coach, means that it's kind of related of what I'm showing today to you guys. And I love it because, yeah, if your culture, as I said, on your mindset is not ready, then don't start. And if you want to start, be helped, take some coaches, and they will help you to move forward on the transformations. Then what is the agile mindset? You have, I think, all a brain here, and you have 2 sides. Then the left one is doing agile, is doing things. And the right one is being agile. For me, we should all start to think about the right brain. The right brain, it's transparency, it's collaboration, it's trust, it's kind of value that you need to have to be agile. And if you check the Agile Manifesto, you can have 12 principles and 4 values. And here it's really being agile. Doing agile, it's to be helped with framework, with practices, etc. It can be safe, it can be Kanban, it can be Scrum, it can be extreme programming, everything. And you have some key topic like inspect and adapt, empiricism, delivery, and it's just based on how we can do agile. And the 4 values, as you can read here, we have 4 values. And as you can see, it's not about process, it's not about tools, it's not about documentations, it's not about anything else. It's just communications, interactions, sharing. Is really to be able to be flexible and to be able to understand where you are going. Why agile? Why a lot of people want to do agile? It's because it's backed up with some stats, and we can see that 75% of the company agile can reach their goals compared to 56. 65% finish projects on time compared to 40% of non-agile organizations. 67% finish projects on budget compared to 45% on non-agile organizations. Revenue grew 37% faster, and the agile organizations generate 30% more profits. How do we do it? As I said just before, if you think that your company is not on the mindset enough to be able to start, take coach. Don't start alone because you will not be able to do it. I did a lot of conferences in Agile, and no one successfully did a big Agile transformation in a huge company. If you are in small startup, you can handle it by yourself because it's kind of easy, because you don't have a lot of interactions and etc. You can have a lot of interactions, but not a lot of blocking point with other departments and whatever. Then take coaches if you want to start an Agile transformations. Then today I will focus on some of the brands that we have in our Deleuze, on the brands in green. Deleuze in Belgium, Albert in Czechia, Maxi in Serbia, Tempo in Serbia, Alpha Beta in Greece, ENA in Greece, and Mega Image in Romania. Then in my previous job, I was product manager for these X brands. And I was doing the job of harvesting all the requests from all these kind of countries, and be able to create a roadmap that we can deliver because we had a we had a single code-based platform that was feeding all the different brands. Then my job was to travel to these different countries, try to understand what they wanted, pull it on the roadmap, and go ahead. Then my presentation today will be fixed on 4 different axes. I think it's the most important one on with the different little that I will share to you during the presentations. It can help you to kind of guide what your focus should be on. Some of them are really easy to implement that you will see already a lot of results just by doing that. Then the 4 axes are structured business, the IT with the business, try to create links between them because they are not communicating the same language. Communicate, then communicate it's with everyone, and celebrate. Most important part, it's celebrate. Then, first one, focus on your business team. When I arrived in Belgium, I had a lot of requests, a lot of solutions. I want that, I want that, I want that. Yeah, cool, but what is your problem? Please try to help me. I'm trying to help you. Then explain me what is your problems, and I will try to figure out and be able to feed it to the development team in a more structured way, more comprehensive way, to be able to achieve something. Because in Agile, you will see that the team need to be self-organized. Means that just feeding them with solutions or some features that the competitor is doing will help you in no way. Then 3 points on this one, help them to explain the problem, not the solutions. Then, as I said, the most important point in Agile is to be self-organized. Means that you need to start to trust your team, start to trust your developer, because they will bring the solutions. It's not you that will bring the solutions. You can have some help. You can feed them. You can inspire them of what they could do because you heard that some competitors did it. But at the end, they will do it. And yeah, to help my business, because it's kind of easy to say, but when you go to your business and say, okay, I don't want your solutions, I want your problems, they will not understand them. What I try to do is I created an ideations process with some experts that supported me on this initiative, and I try to guide them of how they should request new needs or request new problems to solve. And the ideation process is kind of simple. You have 4 steps. You have 4 steps into the ideation process. When I say group-led 1 market input, I had 5 countries. It means it's really difficult to be able to have all the countries in the same level. Then I selected 1. It was the one that doing the most money. They were not the easiest one, but at least they were doing the most money. Then I did some first research and insight on all the markets, and I tried to understand what is the competitions, what is the trends, what are the different things that we can do, what are the problems that we want to solve, and what is the roadmap that we want to create. Second one, I was getting the strategic visions because all big companies have a strategic visions. They need to do it because they need to get financement. Means that they need to guide on what we will want to do during the year. Then I get all the insights, themes, opportunity area, etc. After we started ideations, when the ideations means that we are putting all these people into the room and we are just guiding them in some ideas, then you are training ideas and you are helping them to share other competition analysis, etc. Because you will have a lot of experts into their area. Means that you will have one guy really focus on fulfillment, the other one focus on e-commerce, but they will not really be aware of what the other departments are doing. Then you are kind of getting everyone in the same level of understanding of what we want to achieve, and after you ideate. Means that you are giving a lot of ideas. You are trying to focusing back the different ideas that you had. On the focused idea that you get, you are diverging again to propose new ideas. On the last step is converging again, then we are converging into some roadmap exercise. Means that you are trying to understand what are the dependencies, what is feasible, what is the best features that we can do with the lowest efforts that will bring the most value. And you are starting to create a more roadmap-focused roadmap. And you are starting from the don't know, could be, to the do know, should be. And you can kind of draft your roadmap for the next year. Then what I did, I will send the materials to Aaron. I think he will share to everyone. What I use is this framework with these timelines. It was to create a roadmap for 1 year with 5 countries. And it was intense meetings. It was in Greece when it was sunny. It was great, but it was still intense for 3 days. We went through the 4 different subs, and the research on insights, we did it before to get all the data and to ground our strategy. After we take all the input for the different brands with some calls before we are going to Greece to meet everyone, and we kind of get in to get the buy-in on to kind of enthusiasts to go in Greece to be able to share all these kind of ideas. We did some experience design, means that based on all the data that we get, we try to draw some stuff, doing some mock-up, because for a business, it's easier to visualize their needs if it's something in a paper. Don't need to be a great Photoshop, just some drawing, some stuff, and it will be really helpful to guide your sessions. And after we did some concept developments, means that we did some proof of concept on the 1-2 great idea all together with the business. And it was kind of interesting because we bring some developer, some vice president of whatever. It's very interesting because they were not able to really speak together because they didn't have the same goal and same objective at the start of the missions. But at the end, we did really some proof of concept in 2 days, and it was really interesting to do and to experiment. Second one is to implicate your teams on business sessions. Then what I started to do, it's after this session when everyone kind of met, I started to bring 1 or 2 developers, like the lead of the team, into business sessions. It was really fun because they were like, why are you doing that? And it was really interesting to see how it was going on. On the business as well, I was bringing the business into our refinement sessions where we are defining the product in a technical point of view. And we saw that our delivery and productivity improved. Why? Because the business started to understand the IT started to understand the business. It means that they were not coming with something like perfectly done solutions. We were coming with a more problematic thing. On the IT, we are like, okay, I understand the problematic of the business because the competition just launched this feature. We need to do better. And they were really engaged on the product, and we were able to deliver a great product as a company and not as individual. Next one is transparency. Transparency is key. When you are doing all these kind of sessions, when you have ideations with all the people all around the table, it's great, it's fun. We are in Greece, it's hot, we are drinking a bit, it's great. And after we have some IT coming to business, business going to IT. But if you are stopping here, it will just stop, and all your initiative will be done. Then what you need to do is to give transparency to everyone in the same language. Try to be on the same language. Means that you can create some dashboard that needs to be smartly done, because if you are just pushing your IT ticket to your business, they will not understand anything. And if you are just giving what are the business requirements to the IT, they will not understand anything. Then you need to kind of getting to a point that both can understand. Sending some weekly summary, highlighting the impediments and highlighting the achievements, because it's most important to highlight what didn't work, but what worked. Both are on the same side, but you need to highlight everything to be sure that it's not on one side. If you are giving only achievement to your business, we will say, okay, everything's good, everything's work. No, it's not true. We need to highlight what didn't work because we need to improve for the next one. Second one is to develop a business culture in your IT department. It means that they need to know what is the purpose of what we are creating. Then it was kind of interesting what I started. It's not a great user story, but it's just to kind of getting an example. When I was in Belgium, we launched what we call the Nutri-Score. Nutri-Score, it's a European approach to kind of doing annotations on the healthiness of the product. It's not really, when I say healthiness, it's because the algorithm, it's working, but not for the product, because when we have the French fries and it's an A, for me, it's a bit weird, but that's okay. Then what we did as a company, as product owner at start, we created the user story that it's kind of comprehensive. The priority was expedite, because yeah, the competitor was doing exactly the same thing, and we needed to be fast to be able to deliver it live before them. And the description was, yeah, we need to display it here on 3-year journeys, please hurry. Yeah, great. On KPI, no time to explain, please do it. Oh, great, cool. And it was exactly, I just copy-paste from the ticket that I received. And I was like, no. Then what I did, I tried to understand a bit more and to get with the team. And I tried to describe a bit why is the objective, what is Nutri-Score, what could be the positions of the Nutri-Score, means that kind of guiding them, because the competition are doing it, and it was kind of the most easiest place to do. Then I kind of giving more example on why the urgency. This part was the most important one, because they want to be focused, and I saw really the developer getting to their keyboard and starting to work really to be able to fight the other competitor that we have, but it's still currently leading the market in Belgium. And every time we can beat them, it's a great success for us. Then we really take the things, and because I explained a bit more the urgency of that, it was really interesting for the developer. And after, yeah, the KPI, it was 5% more extra visitor, because it was kind of hip stuff. Everyone was talking about Nutri-Score. Everyone want to find Nutri-Score into the grocery food. It means that if we are doing before the people, then we will be able to convert some competitor customer to our brand. Second one is to create a roadmap and to clarify the objective. What do we want to achieve? What is our goals? And what do we think we will be able to achieve these goals? It means that creating starts on stages to be able to reach a goal will help them to kind of creating bundle of features that we will be able to release. Because when you are starting from in a company that are releasing new features every 6 months, and you want to be competitive into your market, you need to reduce this timeline between every release. We started every 6 months, and when I left 5 months ago, we were releasing every week. Then it was like 6 months to 1 week. It was kind of a big thing, and we were able to push new features and to be more on top of the market. And yeah, start to share knowledge between your teams, because you can have a lot of teams. We had 9 product teams with a product owner, scrum master, developer, tester, all the jobs that are required to do agile. But they were not talking to each other. It means that we were already on silo, doing their features, and at the end, it was a big bang every time because no one was communicating. Then what we started to do is we implemented the community of practice. It was 1 hour per week. And every week, a product owner, or 2 or 3, depending on the times that the different one took, was to kind of explain what was the problematic of every product owner. Like real case, this week, it was really long. I took a lot of time to do that, because my developer didn't understand that. And really concrete examples in real time, and we can share. And we started to highlight, okay, what can we do? This problem is like no communications. You don't have any dashboard, or you don't have any tools to report that, or whatever. Then we started to kind of filling it improvements that we were achieving all together with the 6 criteria that you have on the screen: backgrounds, current situations, goal analysis, recommendations, and action plan. It means that we were really trying to put on all cases, all points, the different things to be able to start to improve 2 weeks after, to understand what we achieved and to continue to improve. Because Agile, it's always improving. You are not doing a big product in the first time. You are doing a small piece of your product that can work, and after you are improving on it. The third one is communications. Then communications will help you to focus on the we instead of the I, because in a big company, you need to work together. And it's great to be able to be a super expert into your domain, but if you are not communicating with the other experts of their domains, you will not be able to deliver anything. And communication will create trust. And trust is one of the most important things when you are starting Agile, because people need to trust, the management need to trust the IT need to trust the management, etc. We have a little pattern of trust. It's like the teams, when we have a lot of teams, they need to communicate, and they need to collaborate between each other, explained just before. And they will inspect, and you see on the top, they will inspect and adapt. On doing that, with a period of time, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, depending on your company, but they will continue to improve. Means that you need to track every action that you are doing, and you can learn of what you did well and what you didn't do well. And to finish, celebrations. You need to celebrate your success, because it can be a big success or a little smooth success, like every week. We were doing a little drink just before leaving, like at 5. It was great because we were just sharing, what did you do? Oh, I put that on production. Oh, did you see the KPI? Yeah, it's so great. We I don't know, did 1 more million this week. Wow. And it was really a great sharing on the business. The management, the IT started to come into this kind of little drinks. It doesn't cost anything to the company, almost. And it's really a great thing because the developer want to continue to have this kind of achievements. And thank you. Do we have some time for question? Yeah, cool. Shoot.
Hi, my name is Yashika. I used to work in Scrum Master. I was on the Evolve Innovation Lab at the Brown University. And I wanted to know, like, when I started as a Scrum Master, it was difficult because to inculcate Scrum in teams where they haven't started, they know what Scrum is, but sometimes when your developers are really working and busy with their stuff, they stop following Scrum. Then how do you try to?
Yeah, then for me, Then for me, framework, it's not the good term. Framework, I think if you are not mature or you are just starting to do Agile, a framework will not help you. I think you need to do baby steps. If you are in a big company, potentially the management will want to do bigger steps, and you will need to try to figure out what are the good lengths of your step. But I think you should start by step and by little initiative. And what I was doing is more like getting some ceremony, the most important one, into the company. Then I was doing the daily stand-up. I was doing a retrospective after end of every sprint. I was trying to educate them about the velocity. But you start, you need to have it done during the sprint. Then a lot of little piece of Agile that will help the developer on the company to understand that, okay, it's great. And only these little things will help, and the developer will start to understand a bit more what is Agile and how I could put in place. Because if you are starting with a big framework like SAFe, you will not be able to do anything because you cannot onboard all the organization, because SAFe is that. You need to bring everyone into your framework. And if you have some people that don't want to be onboarded, they will not be onboarded, and you will not be able to achieve anything. It means after a few months, they will stop to do it, and you will not achieve anything. And yeah, my recommendation is really start to get what is the most useful ceremony. You can use some methodology to make it more fun. When I started here, we didn't really add time boxing into our backlog refinement. Then what I did is I took some tools to just a timer and try to put some methodology to be able to kind of give more efficiency. And the developer were like, wow, the refinement was taking 4 hours before. Now it's 30 minutes. Yeah, I can develop more. I like to develop. Yeah, great, man. Let's do that. And you have like the poker planning. I love the poker planning. It's just playing with cards. You have cards with the Fibonacci follow-up. I don't know how you say it in English, but you have cards 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, etc. And you are sharing your problems, and people are talking. And after we say, okay, 3, 2, 1, and they are taking your cards, And if everyone is aligned with the story point, then the amount of effort to develop it. If everyone is aligned, then it will be your estimations. If they are not aligned, you are taking the minimum score and the maximum score. They will start to discuss together, try to find already a first solutions, and they need to revote. Then 3, 2, 1, all 5? Okay, great, cool, it's 5. And you continue, and people are like with their little card, and you have the coffee card, you have the infinity card, you have a lot of cards that are kind of fun. Then, yeah, bring some tools. Agile, it's full of tools. You can find on internet like for nothing. Sometimes it's free. You just need to print it, and it will be a great things to bring into your company.